I am here with Wes Hodge, the most popular man in Orlando's politics. I swear, I see you everywhere.
You
Wes,
got to
tell
be
us a little bit
everywhere.
about you. Yeah, and as I think I said this to you, I said you are certainly in the role of the elections, officer for Orlando for Orange County, supervisor of elections. You're already working within that role, as far as I see it.
A lot of people say that to me. Yes, they'll send me an email. But aren't you already the supervisor of elections? And I'm like, that's the greatest compliment. Thank you, but no, we got to get elected. So,
Yes.
so yeah. Uh, so a little bit about me. My name is Wes Hodge, as you said. I've lived in Orange County for almost 40 years now. Graduated from Winter Park High School. Went to Valencia and UCF, and this is my home. I was chair of the Orange County Democratic Party for 6 years, and I got involved because, you know, our elected officials weren't working for our community. They were doing what the special interests wanted, what the developers wanted, and they really did not reflect our community as far as the demographics, but also as far as the values. And so I really got involved in party politics to get our voters educated about the process and which candidates share their values. And over the last 10 years, we've been able to flip our county commission. We've got the most diverse county commission ever. We have, some of the best representation, but we're having conversations about dedicated funding for affordable housing, funding for transportation, livable wages. We're actually working for our community now as a local government. And I think that that's the best thing that we can have. And so I'm glad to see the work that I've put in for the last 10 years, educating our voters. And so when Supervisor Cowles announced his retirement, a lot of our community leaders came to me and said, Wes, we want you to really look at the Supervisor of Elections role. Kind of like you said, you've already been doing the job, but we see your passion for this, and we see what you've been able to accomplish with voter education, and we want you to continue working in that role. So I talked to my spouse, number one, but also the community and the people came to me and said, yeah, we really think that this is something that you should do. So we put together a plan, a very robust plan, probably more than anybody ever wanted to talk about when it comes to voting. But it's truly reflective, number one, about my passion for this position, but number two, about where we can go. The Supervisor Cowles, who was in the position for 24 years, was a great supervisor of elections, left us with a wonderful office that runs really well. But the thing is, we've kind of been stagnant, and I think there's a great opportunity for us to grow and continue to evolve and change as our community grows and evolves and changes, to be more inclusive and be more accessible. And that's really what I want to accomplish as Supervisor of Elections.
So listen, Orange County is a huge area, and
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you've been definitely from one end to the other. Are there different issues that you see you need to address in, let's say, East Orange County as opposed to
Sure.
downtown as opposed to West?
Absolutely. No, it's a great question. There 100% are different needs across this county. But the funny thing is, a lot of them are very much the same. Downtown is unique because of the density, right? But we have a lot of infrastructure that can be used for voting locations, for early voting. But when you get out to the east side and the west side, and specifically the southwest side, um,
Mhm.
we have what we call early voting deserts, where development has occurred, but the infrastructure hasn't kept up. And so, like, the east side is a great example. Alafaya Library at Alafaya and Colonial is the
Mhm.
furthest east early voting site that we have. Now you
That's
think about
furthest east.
that's the furthest east. Now you
Oh,
think about Bithlow and all the development there, Corner Lakes, Christmas, Wedgefield, all of
Edgefield.
those,
Mhm.
Avalon Park, all of those residents have to go all the way back to Alafaya to vote early. So I want to see something like the Bithlow Community Center would be a great example of a
Mhm.
location for an early voting center. But then also, you know, part of our underserved communities, like, for example, I was so happy to see an early voting site in Eatonville, but also one at the Lyft Orlando Center. But these
Yes.
were also underserved communities. And, when I talked to voters in Eatonville, I had a young lady come up to me and she says, I have to take the bus to vote. And especially for municipal elections, early voting is only at the Supervisor of Elections office. And so she says it takes me 2 buses and an hour to get to the Supervisor of Elections office to vote early, and then an hour to get home. So now we're asking someone to spend 2+ hours just to vote early. And so, I have talked to Mayor Gardner, and we're going to keep it not just for presidential and governor elections, but also for municipal elections, so that the residents can actually just go to town hall and vote early and don't have to worry about it. I've had the same conversation with the city of Ocoee, with the city of Winter Garden. Apopka already does it. They have their own early voting location for municipal elections. But Winter
Okay.
Park, Maitland, they don't have anything. And same with City of Orlando. If you live in Lake Nona, you're 45 minutes away from the Supervisor of Elections office. And usually about 100 people vote early
Wow.
from Lake Nona. So
Yeah.
I want to have more accessibility for those early voting locations, because we need to cater to the voters. We don't need the voters to cater to us. And I think that that's reflected in our turnout. When we have an election and have
Yes.
8% turnout, and
I
then,
did. One thing I never realized. I didn't realize
yeah,
that. Go ahead though. You were finishing a
yeah,
thought.
yeah. So the other thing that's really important to me, not just physical accessibility, but comfort and accessibility. So language access. You know
Mhm.
very well, we have a growing Haitian community that is adding to
Mhm.
the richness of Orange County, but we are not required by law to offer anything in Haitian Creole. And so if you go and look at all of my, social media and website, I've had not only English and Spanish, but also Haitian Creole, and also subtitles for voters with disabilities. Because if we can provide the information to our fellow neighbors who are US citizens and have every right to vote,
Mhm.
and a language that they can be comfortable with, they can then make the best decisions for their community, which benefits us as a greater community. So
Yes.
I want to make sure that we have language access, when voters come to vote, and also getting that information when we send it out to them.
Well, I could tell that you've put a lot of thought into this, which is, again, we expected no less from you. So, best of luck, in all honesty. Caribbean American Passport, you have our endorsement because, bar none, you are far above and beyond the best
Well,
person
thank
in our
you.
minds for this,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, it comes from the experience, right? It comes from having worked in this area, this arena for the last 10 years. And
Mhm.
so being on the ground, being in our neighborhoods, talking to our neighbors, you understand what the issues are. And so, does having voter information Haitian Creole benefit someone like me? Absolutely not. But
Mhm.
as a community servant, I know that it's not about me. It's about my
Yeah.
community and what's best for my community.
I love that. Years ago, we actually did Caribbean American Passport. We did something with Mission Boricua, and we
Hmm.
actually showed the Puerto Rican community here who were coming over just how it is to vote on the mainland, and that
Right.
also drove voter engagement up. I definitely, man, I look forward to working with you when you're in office.
I
Let's
love
just
it.
claim that. Let's just claim
All
that.
right, let's put
So
it let's put it into the universe. Yes.
yes. So to get you over that top, we have to talk about what you need. You need
Yeah.
fun still at this point, I'm
Yes.
sure, and help. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. So listen, political campaigns are not cheap. You know this. I know that. We were in a primary election. In that universe, we had 300,000 voters to talk to. We're now in a general election. There are over 800,000 registered voters in Orange County, and we expect 75% of them to vote, which means that's 700,000 voters we've got to reach out to. And one piece of mail to 700,000 people is $350,000. Now, when you household it, it becomes a little bit cheaper, but we're still talking about 100 grand. I don't
Yeah.
have 100 grand. um, and that's just mail. Then we're talking about social media, digital, text messages, and canvassing, of course, knocking on doors and talking to voters. So the short answer is I need donations. And if you like what you hear and you want us to be in that position, the only way that's going to happen is with financial support, unfortunately. And so weshodgeoc.com, so Wes Hodge, Orange County, oc.com is my website. Go check it out. There is a donate link right there. And whether it's $5 or $1,000, every dollar is going to make a difference. I've run into people that are like, oh, I don't make enough money to donate to a campaign. Let me tell you something. If you have a job, you make enough money to donate to a campaign.
Mhm. Absolutely.
The best donation that I had, a senior citizen came up to me and gave me $2. And she said, I don't have a whole lot. She said, but I believe in you and I want you to have this $2. And that $2 represents 4 pieces of mail. That's 4 households that we can talk to and get our message out to. So no amount is too little and no amount is too big.
Mhm.
uh,
No, that's
but
serious.
yeah, but that is what we need to be successful. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the honest truth. I've seen so many candidates throughout the years that have great messages but don't go anywhere because they can't get their message to voters.
That's absolutely true. That's again why we're doing this, right? Because again, we feel like this is at least a way where you'll be able to give your message. It goes to our audience. They like
Yep.
it. They engage. They don't. They
Right.
do nothing. That's it. That's what we
Absolutely,
want.
absolutely.
So
And
thank
right,
you.
oh yeah,
Go
of
ahead.
course. I was going to say right now we need people engaged more than ever. We know that literally democracy is on the line right now, and we've not been concerned about supervisor of elections because we had an excellent supervisor of elections. When he retired at the end of January, we have an appointee there right now, and things weren't getting done on time.
Mhm.
Errors are being made.
Oh well.
There's been staff moving back and forth. There's a lot of instability in the elections office right now, and it's concerning to me, and it should be concerning to our community. Do I
Mhm.
think that our vote is at risk? No. I do have faith in the staff there to make the right decisions, but at the leadership level, it's absolute chaos. And I do think that we need to really look at this race and make sure that we put the best person forward. And so that's why I'm asking for your supporters and viewers to take a look at me. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Wes. Thanks for making the
Yeah,
time to join us. I know
of
that
course.
you're out there doing the work to save democracy because again, that's what getting in the arena does. And so
That's
we
right.
commend you again for that. And viewers, we ask you to make sure you follow him, support. Again, we're just saying that we've seen the work and we know Wes and we know the work that he'll put in. So again,
Yep.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And all of my social media is Wes Hodge OC. So whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, just follow us there. You can get all the information you need. All right.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
again.
Thank you so much.
You're
Great seeing
welcome.
you.
Same. See you in the streets.
Absolutely. Literally right now, that's where I'm at. We'll see you in the streets.